Daily Manna from the Torah by Dr. Ketriel Blkad. Shalom everyone, we are now at the fifth Aliyah of Parashat Mikets, at the end. Today's Aliyah is found in Genesis 42, verse 19 to 43, verse 15. Today we'll be reading verse 24 of chapter 42. Then he turned away from them and wept, and he returned to them and spoke to them. And he took Simeon from them and bound him before their eyes. What is self-control for? When Joseph spoke to his brothers, he used a Hebrew-Egyptian interpreter. This shows that the two languages were not similar. Joseph had to control his emotions and suppress his desires so he could be in front of his brothers and speak roughly to them. This wasn't easy. But during those 13 years in the school of suffering, he had developed one of the most important characteristics of a tzaddik, or a righteous man, and that's self-control. Self-control is one of the characteristics of the Messiah, in whose image the first man was created. After man's fall, man lost a lot of self-control. That's why when the Eternal is working with someone to restore him or her and make him or her again in the image of the Messiah, he also works with this area of their character. Self-control is willing to suppress temporary passion in order to obtain a greater pleasure in the long run. Self-control knows how to say no when a sin is presented in a nice wrapping. Self-control does not do what is not allowed without authorization or before the right age or without fulfilling the requirements to do it. Self-control knows how to wait and be faithful until reaching far and hard to set goals. Self-control does not give free rein to emotions under pressure. Self-control does not eliminate strong feelings, but controls them and lets them vent when the moment is right. Self-control knows how to be quiet when one wants to speak. Self-control doesn't reveal others' secrets. Self-control doesn't buy something that he doesn't need. Self-control doesn't like using credit. Self-control uses money for important things and doesn't waste it on pleasures. Self-control does not spend what one doesn't have. Self-control doesn't buy new clothes when one can wear the old ones. Self-control doesn't eat great-tasting food if it's unhealthy. Self-control does not eat anything forbidden by the Torah. Self-control knows how to say no to a plate of lentils if the price is very high, even if he's hungry. Self-control always looks at the invisible one to find out what to do at all times instead of acting hastily. Joseph turned away from his brothers for a moment to weep because he couldn't control his feelings in front of them. But then he took control over his soul and went back in and talked to them roughly, because that was the divine plan for the moment. May the Eternal help us deepen our personal relationship with Him, so that the fruit of the Spirit is produced in us for His glory. Shalom.